going to sell real estate, and let's say this is your real estate. How do you know you have the right to sell your real estate? Or if you're buying real estate, how do you know that the person selling it actually has the right to do that? Do they have clear ownership? Is there a clear, right, unbroken chain of ownership and title in that property? Well, guys, we've all seen it. Do you remember those old movies, maybe an old Western, where somebody, pulled out the secret deed to a property? Because that's how we transfer real estate ownership. We transfer it in a deed, and that goes from one party to the next. And if you have the deed, you own the property. Right? So we've seen that old movie where somebody gets the secret deed and they put it in a box and they bury it in the yard, and something happens in the movie, and everybody thinks that, and they pull out the deed and say, "You don't own it, I do, because I've got the deed." Well, that kind of used to happen because there was no way to really establish truly, right, the order of ownership. And how do you track for encumbrances and liens against a property? And so, thankfully, some very smart people figured it out and said, listen, we need to create a system that allows us to record the interest in property in order for me as an owner to protect my interests, so somebody doesn't go and create a second deed to the property and pretend they own it and then they're selling it out from under me. We wanted to stop that. So we created a system called the Public Records, which allows you to record your ownership in a piece of property. And it allows you to make sure that nobody else can put a false claim against the ownership of that property. Now, this recording is done at the county level. Key here, it's not at the city level, it's not at a state or federal level, it's done at the county level. So if I wanted to know more about what I could actually record, right, at that county level, I would want to go down to the county and I would want to talk to the people there to understand it. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at a video where we do just that. And we go down and let's dig in a little bit on what you can record and how you can protect your interest in real estate to make for a simple sale later.
Well, hi. I'm representing a client who is selling an old historic home. I'm here at the Public Records Office today to find out what kinds of things go into a public record and how that may affect a real estate transaction.
Usually, an attorney or title company representative performs the public records search to ensure that good title can be conveyed.
I'm interested in what types of things may come up for an older home like my client's. I will still have the title company do the official title search though. If I did it myself, it may be considered a conflict of interest.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm representing a client who is selling an older home in the area. Can you explain to me a bit about how a public search works?
Yeah, I'd be happy to help. There's a lot of older historic homes in this area, so it's really going to depend on the home. Which one are you selling?
It's at 125 Main Street.
All right, let me take a look here for you. Okay, I don't see that there have been any recent searches on that property, but what I can tell you is a little bit about what a title search entails.
Great, thank you. I'm just here today to get a little more information. My client's title company will be doing the official search.
Okay, I see. Well, in general, our public records contain detailed information about each piece of real estate in the city. We have documents such as deeds and mortgages, things like records of taxes, judgments, any probate, and marriages. These things can all offer important information about the title to a property.
So how do these documents get into the title or into the public record?
Well, that happens by recording. Any written document that affects any estate, right, or title, or any interest in land must be recorded to serve as a public notice. This way, anyone interested in the title to a property will know where to look.
Okay, what about priority? Does it matter when documents are recorded?
It does. Recording acts generally give legal priority to those interests recorded first. Think of it like first come, first served. There are some exceptions to this, such as liens for property taxes, special assessments, and delinquent amounts owed to the IRS.
Okay, are those kinds of liens for property taxes or special assessments typically recorded?
Well, real estate taxes and special assessments are not usually recorded until after the end of the period for which the taxes are due. A title search will typically get notice of these liens from the tax collector's office, paid tax receipts, or letters from the city.
So what does a title search really hope to accomplish with the facts in these records?
Ideally, an unbroken chain of title. So that's going to be a record of property's ownership, beginning with the earliest owner. A title search examines the public records to determine whether there are any defects exist in the chain of title. The records of the transfer of ownership are examined, beginning with the present owner.
So is all that information provided to the title company or whoever's requesting the search?
Yes, in what is called an abstract of title. That's a summary report of what the title search found in the public records. This report begins with the original grant. All recorded liens and encumbrances are included, along with their current status. A list of all the public records examined is also provided as evidence of the scope of the search.
So that's how we arrive at marketable title then?
Yes. Marketable title means the buyer of the property won't be subject to litigation. A marketable title must disclose no serious defects, not threaten the quiet enjoyment of the property, and convince a reasonably well-informed purchaser that the purchaser could sell or mortgage the property at a later time.
So what if a defect in the title is found?
Well, in our state, as in some others, a preliminary title search is conducted as soon as an offer to purchase has been accepted. Often, a contingency is included in a sales contract, giving the buyer the right to review and approve the title before purchasing. A preliminary title report also helps the seller by giving the seller an early opportunity to cure these title defects.
All right, that makes sense. Thank you so much for all that information.
To protect your interest in real estate, you can record your interests. And you record it at the what level? Not the city, not the state, but at the county level. And there can keep a clear record, right? A clear chain of title and ownership, which when put all together, from the current owner all the way to the past, to the original land grant from the U.S. government, right? That whole chain of title in an abstract. And that abstract is the way that you can definitely prove that you own the property. Conversely, it'll also demonstrate if you don't have the right, if somebody has placed a lien against your property too. So not only does it protect your ownership, it can also protect other people. So knowing where to go and what to look for is important in real estate.